how to lead your team out of burnout. It sounds like this would be a very difficult thing to do, especially considering how first responders are burning out left, right, and center right now. But I'm here to tell you that you are able to gather the tools that you need in order to help them. So before we dive in, I should introduce myself. My name is Andy Clark. I am the founder and CEO of 911 Lifestyle, where we work with first responders all over North America, UK, and Australia currently, where we help first responders reverse and prevent burnout. We get you guys sleeping again, get your motivation and drive up, energy up. We heal your gut and get the short fused calm down, anxiety, depression, get you to the point where you have enough energy to make it through your shift, keep yourself safe, and have energy left over for your family. So when it comes to burnout prevention, I actually started out 911 Lifestyle really focusing on the frontline guys. And I thought that that was where I needed to be because they were burning out left, right, and center. But what I was realizing is that I could have a bigger impact if I worked with those that were higher level and working their way up in their service. And the reason is that you guys are the ones that can really directly impact your team. I can only work with one frontline guy at a time. But if I work with those of you that are moving up along the ranks, then you can work with all of the guys under you. And every time that you go for a promotion with your clear brain, with your motivation and drive, with your family's support behind you, then you are going to be able to make greater changes in your services, and you're going to be able to impact more people on the front line. So it's all about the compound effect. And that is why I am doing what I'm doing. It's not about how much notoriety can I get for how many frontline guys can I do. It's how can I impact them the most. And working with you guys who are working your way up the ladder is where I can impact them the most and where you can impact the most and help yourself get higher up through the rankings. So when we're doing this, the thing is to really understand what burnout is. So burnout is your stress system asking for support. The problem that happens in first responders that I see over and over and over again is that they are told to exercise and have healthy nutrition. And this definitely works for a portion of their career. But it gets to the point where that's not enough. For a civilian, it's usually enough. For first responder, it's not. Civilians don't work 12, 24-hour shifts. Those of you that have worked your way up through the ranks where you are technically a Monday to Friday 9-to-5er, you're not. There are lots of things that happen because your service is 24 hours a day that you are pulled into. My husband is supposed to be 7 to 3 right now. There's often 2 o'clock. He's messaging me saying he got pulled into another meeting. Weekends, he's in the command vehicle for protests, and he's 12, 15-hour days. Whenever there's special projects, things going up, he has to oversee those things. So it's never, ever just a 9-to-5, even if you technically have worked yourself into a 9-to-5. It's just not. And so when you're talking to somebody who solely deals with civilians, they're like, oh, just calm things down, go to bed at the same time every day. All of these things that help your circadian rhythms, help your hormones, start breathing. All of these things that definitely do work for a civilian, they're not enough. They're not enough for a first responder. So what is enough? What we need to do first is understand that there are so many stressors in your job that you can't shut down, that you can't. There's no way that a lot of those stressors can just be taken off of the table. So we have to work with it and not against it. We need to think outside the box more. So our stress system, hormones, nervous system, and gut, you've probably heard me talk about this a lot. And so we really go in and do some deep testing. We go in and we figure out what your specific stress system needs. So from a nutritional standpoint, we don't do diets or any of those things. I'll actually do a test on you that will check the last 3 months of how your stress system has, of the nutrients that your stress system is depleted in, or that you actually have too much in. So we're able to adjust things accordingly based on what your specific stress system is requiring, because every single one of you has different stressors that are affecting you. We're finding very fascinating with that test as well. It goes into toxins, and we're finding that once we find out what toxins are in the fire, guys, and we're decreasing those, their stress load decreases big time, and we're able to help them with that. So we do a lot of testing. We don't guess, because all of your systems have been taxed differently, and we need to know how. If you're presenting with certain gut issues, we do very deep dive diagnostic testing that your doctors have not been trained to read. We actually have specialists in our group that know how to read those deep, it's a DNA stool sample testing, tests everything in your gut. I'm going to do a couple of videos to look out for in the next 2 to 3 weeks, that I'm going to actually do a deep dive into each of these tests. You can see what they test, where they're at, and how they specifically will help you. So once we get all of the vitamins, the minerals in you up to where they need to be, once we get your gut healing and we start training that nervous system, and we start working and making sure that your hormones that manage 50 hormones, manage your cholesterol, testosterone, your motivation, your drive, cognitive thinking, all of your healing, sleeping, waking, energies. There's 50 different hormones for these, all of your gut function. So gallbladder, liver, kidney, if any of you are having issues with those, a lot of those are related to the hormonal aspect of things. So we really do go in to do this deep dive with everything going on in your stress system. We pretty much do a diagnostic. We lift the hood of your engine. We go in and we figure out all of the parts that are screaming at you. Where do we need to do the testing? Let's find out, so we can actually know how to go in, what needs to be replaced, what needs just a little bit of an oil lube change. And we dive into that. And then after we have done that, then we go and we, as I call it, the premium gas. We put the premium gas in to make sure that the engine continues to run optimally, and do regular oil and filter changes, which is exercise and nutrition. But if your engine isn't running the way that it's supposed to be running, there's no way that that exercise and nutrition is going to be able to continue to keep that engine running. So we need to do a deep dive with you guys into your hormones, nervous system, and gut. Okay. And the thing is that if I can teach you how to do that, we do it over 12 months, teaching you guys how to do that will give you skills that you're like, ooh, I can take some of these tips, some of these tricks, some of these tools. Sorry, every 2 weeks, we teach you another tool to be adding in your toolbox for hormones, nervous system, and gut. And you can take these tools and teach your team, help with your wellness programs, teach them things that we are teaching you in the program. And as you're going up, then you'll be able to learn what you need to start bringing into your service in order to really tackle these guys, to really get it going, so that your guys are all running optimally, so that they're not short fused, they're not frustrated, their motivation and drive is good, so that everything is not a fire, so that they can actually deduce what needs to be done when, how it needs to be done, and big picture think, which takes a huge load off of your shoulders, knowing that the guys under you are not burnt out. They're managing things at home are good, because they don't have the short fuse at home. They're able to help out and be motivated at home and help out with their kids. So you can help doing all of that by learning these tools to help them. So if you are interested at all in learning about what we do to find out if you are a candidate for results in order to really be the best leader that you can be and make that impact on your team so that they can continue to impact others and your service can just thrive, then let us know. Email us support@911lifestyle.com and ask us if you are a candidate for results in our 911 Elite Performance Program. And somebody will start asking you some questions about your physical stress systems, where you're at, what you've done to fix it. You can bypass all that just by letting them know that information up front. And then they will get you in a call with either myself or one of the others that is on my team in order to see if you're a candidate for results. If you are, if you like working with us, if you like the sounds of what we do and you want on board, then we can tell you all about the program and give you the details, and you can decide if you want in or not. So let us know. Again, it's support@911lifestyle.com, and we would love to be able to help you impact your team.